We're good to go. What a day. I'm actually like, you know what? I actually enjoy morning recordings because it's like you wake up, you're fresh, you get here, it's the first thing you do.
That is true. I had the same theory, and then I went for a run the other day. I was like, I'm going to get up early, go for a run. I'm going to feel good for the rest of the day. I was absolutely rat shit for the rest of the day. Body was cooked.
I need to go for a run. Like today, I had my alarm for 5:30. It ended up being 5:30 p.m.
Oh, geez. Big difference.
Yeah, my phone was like not waking me up, so I woke up at 6:30. I was like, there we go. To anyone who has a child, please let me know how long it took you to sort of find a sleep schedule for yourself to actually go and you work on yourself.
Yeah, oh mate. Look, to be honest, the only good thing about having a young kid is during the Champions League that those 5 a.m. wake-ups aren't so bad.
You know what? I actually miss the 5 a.m. wake-ups. I do love a Champions League pre the whole daylight savings in Australia, mainly for Melbourne, because 5 a.m. wake-ups for Champions League was perfect because by the time the game finished, it's 7. Now, 6 o'clock start, 8 a.m. finish.
That's, you know what, for someone working 9 to 5, I reckon that kind of sucks because if you've got to commute, into the city or whatever, like it's a bit later in the day.
Well, if you and I want to make Monday episodes 8 a.m., it's fine, no game. But if it was a Tuesday or Wednesday,
we're finished, no chance.
We get here at half time at least.
We'll just put the cameras on and maybe just watch the game with the people and not talk.
Well, we should do. I know there's, like you said, a few of your friends and people have said that they watch our episodes. So if you want to watch Paul and I watch a game of football and live react, let us know. I'd do it. I'd be keen.
We should have recorded the Australia-Peru game because the live reacts to that was insane.
That was a great one.
I'm looking forward to World Cup here at Panenka is going to be crazy.
It's going to be a massive year. Look, I know I'm going away for the World Cup, but I'm so keen to come back. There's definitely things that you and I want to do for the last period. It's crazy to think that the finals period is like close to Christmas. It's going to be such a good time.
It's such a good time of year. It's so different to obviously what we're used to. And I know...
It's going to be summertime, so you watch the World Cup. You're going to go have a barbecue afterwards.
I know. It's going to be what Europeans experience, I guess, when you think about it.
Exactly. And a lot of my UK friends, when I was speaking to them when I was in Portugal with the Cold Kick guys, they were like, it's going to be winter, so we're going to make World Cup merch that's for winter.
Which, it's so fun. It seems so backwards because, we're so used to seeing that. They're not.
No.
So, for us, I think it's great. It's almost like a, normal-ish hours for, 2 of the games. Warmer weather, it's good. It's not a 4 or 5 a.m. wake up in the middle of June, July, which is going to be freezing for us.
I saw some of the games. I know I got my schedule to see what games are timing. I didn't know this, but the Socceroos are playing one of their games at 10 p.m. local time. 10 p.m. local time.
That's pretty good.
I went to bed 10 p.m. the other day.
We're getting old though.
I know, but
we're both feeling it.
Are you that type of person that goes and has a nap during the day and wakes up?
Lately, yes, because I've been struggling. But
how do you do it?
I have to get to a breaking point.
Honestly, my wife has these 2-hour naps or 1-hour nap in between when my child sleeps, which is the best thing when your child's got a sleep schedule. Like a 2-year-old now, she can sleep 2 hours in the middle of the day, so you can find a nap time.
Yeah.
But I have this experience. If I take a nap during the day, I wake up, and I almost wake up questioning my life, and I'm like, what year is it? Why does my body hurt? And why do I feel worse than I went to bed before?
This podcast is very quickly turning into 2 dads complaining. There's between 2 dads. Should we move it back to football maybe?
100%.
But World Cup, I think it's going to be such a good experience having it finally in a different time of year. Yeah. I say finally. I think everyone else is a bit like, it sucks, but
Look, it's exciting. I mean, I'm so keen for this World Cup. It is going to be in a different place. Of course, Qatar did get the Asia Cup just now, the Asia Cup tournament, which is sad because Korea has been complaining. I don't know if you saw a statement. Korea said it's unfair that Qatar has got the World Cup and now the Asia Cup. This is an Asian tournament, not an Arab, golf tournament. Yeah. And it's now there's people talking about it and saying, do we split up Asia in 2 parts? The East and the West, or that sort of stuff.
No, I think that's the beauty of the Asian Cup, the fact that it does include, parts, the Middle East and Eastern parts.
But do you think the Middle East should have its own
confederations? No. I don't think so at all. I think there's nothing wrong with having it hosted by a Middle Eastern country. I think the fact that it's going Qatar back to back, you just look at it and you're like, really? Tell us something that isn't dodgy. At least give it to... first country that came to my head was Iran. It's probably not going to be hosted in Iran for obvious reasons, but anyone else, it could have been... It doesn't
Korea
really matter.
Wanted it. That would have been nice.
But I think Korea's also had they've had the World
They
Cup.
had the World Cup in 2002, but that was years
Yeah.
ago. But I think as a powerhouse, and they made the final last 2 years ago when Australia won in 2015.
Yeah.
But I think, again, my question to you is, like, Egypt's a part of African nations,
Mm-hmm.
and then literally they're just connected to the Gulf area, like just
Yeah.
above here, and they're part of Asia. Wouldn't you say that they're a whole different continent?
In terms, it's funny, right? Because you almost look at visually, like, everyone. You can kind of see like a transition, right? You've got obviously like the Asian countries, the more Asian-looking countries, and then that it kind of transitions into like towards Africa and towards Europe, and you can see the complexions change, the similarities change between people, and you can obviously go to both extremes, right? Where you've got people that look more like, say, your traditional Chinese person versus someone that looks like they're Moroccan almost, right? Like you've got this like big.
I want to say the ethnicity, like it's all mixed. Like you look at how Russia over two different, continents.
Yeah, correct.
But I think I'm just thinking, like, you look at the AFC and you look at the African Cup, Africon, and then you look at that. I feel like they almost have to have a split in the middle and have a new confederation. Like Oceania should be a part of Asia in that terms, if you think about it. But Oceania is on its own thing. And again, there's no respect to Oceania. I wish they were a bit more respected and represented in the World Cups.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the smaller nations like the Fiji and Solomon Islands and stuff like that in the World Cup.
It doesn't help that those smaller islands do get absolutely rolled though when they play other countries, and they're getting rolled by teams that aren't even.
Or then
that
if you're
good.
saying that San Marino, Faroe Islands, they're a part of the Euros. They're not really
but
powerhouses.
I'd hate to be like the Liechtenstein of the world, because they're like every country's like World Cup warm-up team, and it's like we're gonna go there, get some confidence, roll them 6 or 8-0.
Yeah, you say that, but people say the same thing when Italy played Macedonia.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I think there's a different level.
That didn't end well.
No, but I think that's assuming that the favourite's going to win. I think Macedonia is a level above Liechtenstein.
Yeah, but again, football is football. It's a game of 90 minutes, where it changes. But look, I think the World Cup is going to be a big one. We'll get on to one French person that has won the Ballon d'Or.
Yes, Karim.
My friend Dean, as you know, my friend of mine, he goes to me, "You look like Benzema."
Just a beard.
And I was like, you know what?
Beard vibes.
You know what? I could definitely cut my beard, clean the hair up, and
100%
pull off. I definitely can't play like him.
You kind of dress similar too, actually.
You know what? For Gaz's birthday, I should rock up with like the hand tied up,
just the gold straps
French
like the
jersey,
Adidas.
and the glass. I should rock up as Benzema.
That'd be cool, actually.
Full
That'd be
kit.
very fun. For context, we have a dress-up party that's football themed coming up, so that's what he's talking about. Amazing for him to win it. I think deservingly so. I found it kind of ironic that he's finally back in the national team picture and Ballon d'Or pops.
Yeah, look, I think there was a tweet the other day, or this morning actually, I was reading. It was like stats about the French team and how corrupt they've been over time. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was like all these things that Benzema's been a part of, the Valbuena, all these allegations with Frank Ribery. I don't know if you heard about that one.
Yeah.
Like the guy's gone for a bit of bad thing. Let's not forget he's got a bit of a bad vibes behind him. But on the pitch, he's done well. So this is where I'm a bit like, are we rewarding this guy because of his recent form and not his past? Like, is this just a competition for the best player of that time?
Yeah.
Or is this a social media competition now?
You know what I would love to do one day? Maybe we should do it for an episode. Social profile, like the perception of the public on what a player, how they operate, right? I think people look at Ronaldo and they think, oh, he's got a big ego, very strong personality.
Yeah.
Can be a professional operator at times, probably a bit self-obsessed, that kind of thing, right? And we don't know what he could be like. He could be the nicest guy in the world. We've never met the guy. Benzema, I felt like he seemed, as far as I knew, humble bloke, looks like he just wants to get a job done. On the pitch, isn't too extravagant, just likes to put it in the back of the net. And you associate all that drama and all those dilemmas through the French national team, like you were saying.
Recently with Paul Pogba, his whole drama behind the scenes with his family, the whole
correct.
thing with Mbappe. It's just crazy how it could definitely ruin the image of a player.
Yeah, but I'd love to sit here with someone who actually knows what these people are like.
Yeah.
And just to be like, this is what their perception is, and this is what their brand looks like to us as spectators that don't know, and this is what they actually are like.
To think that only not even 30 days, Australia will be facing France in the World Cup. Benzema coming up against Al Matty Ryan. It's going to be a fun time to see. But look, I think as on the pitch, he has a great form. No one can compete him. I know Lewandowski, everyone's saying he got robbed. Again. We'll discuss best players who have never won it.
Lewandowski got robbed.
What do you think about Kerr coming third?
Missed that one.
What did you say?
Lewandowski got robbed.
He got Roberto'd. What do you think about Kerr getting, basically?
Yeah, so third again. Like, I think it's that, always a bridesmaid, never a bride kind of theory, right?
Yeah.
But Unfortunate for her, I think, because of where we are, the fact that she plays at Chelsea, it's kind of, I think what she's achieving, not that it's bad, I'm saying I just think it's pumped up and she's very marketable.
Yeah.
I think Alexi is probably the right choice for.
It's hard. Again, like I said to Ryan, our friend from Park, I said to him, like, I feel like the biggest problem with the Ballon d'Or is it's so overly hyped that the winner isn't going to be the one that everyone wants.
No, never.
And it's always going to be like, it's almost like, yeah, she should win it. And if she doesn't win it, no one really uproars about it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. But it's like, I feel like then it's like Nike overhyping, overdoing this and overdoing that, FIFA. So her name's in the limelight. So everyone's got the word Kerr in her mouth.
Yeah, correct.
And when it's not her, like, her cup, everyone's like, oh, it's not fair. It's like, but there's other people who are playing football at the same time.
Bang on.
You get
And
me?
I think just the fact that she's always top of mind, that makes her brand and her seem like she's achieving more
Yeah.
than what she might actually be achieving.
She will win it.
I think she might, yeah. Look, she's still got time. She's still young enough.
I give her 4 more years. If she doesn't win it, there's definitely a whole new generation of women footballers coming through.
Yeah.
And I reckon the next generation, seeing how much this current generation has paved the way.
Yeah.
Because I remember like the 2000s, like watching the Matildas back in the early days and how much hard work they had to do, like Melissa Barbieri.
Yeah.
They never had like a proper Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
They had competitions and here and there, best female footballer, but it wasn't as respected. To see now having this sort of on the same stage as the men's,
It's amazing. It's so
amazing.
nice. Yeah, it's so nice to see. Even the fact that they give goalkeepers a bit more credit to, young player of the year. It's almost nice because it gets announced, and obviously the Ballon d'Or winner is always like sort of super highlighted. But then you've still got those subsidiary awards where you're like, oh, he got that. That's cool. Like I think
Participation
Thibaut Courtois
awards.
came out during the week and he was like, oh, this award's not for goalkeepers. He goes, I couldn't have had a better season than I did last year, and I still didn't win it. And he goes, what can a goalkeeper do?
Exactly. Goalkeepers get always pushed to the side.
Which actually probably a good segue to my question for you. Who do you think is the best player not to win a Ballon d'Or?
I was going to say the player you said, but I'm not going to say. I'll let you tell your listeners. I think during the form and sort of looking at how Benzema won the current one, no doubt that another Frenchman was robbed for the whole title of being, the Ballon d'Or, the best player.
Yeah.
I reckon someone like Henry
Yeah, good shout.
could have won it. It's unfair. I know it might have been a different format, different voting system back then. Maybe just out of the picture at the time. There was a list of people I was thinking about and I checked it, But for me, Henry, if it wasn't today's, if he was playing in today's generation,
Yeah.
his sort of culture to football, his aesthetic sort of pleasing to footballers, the on the pitch and off the pitch. The guy was, again, a maestro. He definitely should have won it. What are you checking?
I'm thinking about Henry's career as a whole and when he probably peaked. And I'm thinking...
It was that early Highbury days.
Yeah, so I'm thinking... I think it was 2005 or 2006. Arsenal made the final and lost to Barca of the Champions League. And they were up 1-0 and lost 2-1. And I'm thinking maybe that was like that peak Thierry Henry kind of era. It might have been 04 or
He came
05.
third 1 year behind...
Yeah, and I think that year, I could be wrong, but I think that ran into the World Cup, and that was the year I think Fabio Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Or.
There you go.
And I think that's purely off the back of the World Cup. So, but imagine that he achieved what he had achieved at Arsenal in a different season. Maybe he probably could have won it. The fact that the World Cup softens that blow a bit. Do you think there's more weight in a World Cup than there would
I still
be?
don't know how Cannavaro won it, and then people like Van Dijk,
Oh, look, I don't know. Cannavaro was
Did
instrumental.
Cannavaro win the World Cup?
Yeah, 06.
There you go. You definitely got.
And he was incredible. It was
Yeah.
stupid how good he was.
Yeah,
But,
he was a beast at the time.
yeah, interesting. So for me, look, Henry is massive. I think Henry is definitely up there for one. But I couldn't go past Iniesta. I felt like that Barca squad was incredible for so long. Heavily reliant on Xavi and Iniesta together. Xavi is probably another one that's fell short as well. But I just felt like Iniesta was so instrumental in like achieving results for that team.
Yeah.
And especially even for the national team as well. So there had to be during that like say 6-year period, he was so close so many times. I think he finished 3rd and 4th from memory in a few of them. And I just think, man, he was such a pleasure to watch. He was the closest thing to Zidane, Ronaldinho, those creative sort of, flary players that still controlled a game, still scored goals, still created chances. And yeah, I don't know. I got a bit of a crush on Iniesta, I think, and the fact that he moved to Japan after was even cooler. He's still playing. I think.
Playing Kobe, and he's got his own boot now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good shout. Iniesta's definitely a player who the fact that he's still playing, and long-lasting sort of identity to other footballers.
Yeah,
the Barcelona-esque style.
Yeah. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, I was speaking to Jimmy from one of the boys that works at Ultra here, and he brought to my attention that there was a young lady on Depop from Australia who had recently broken up with her boyfriend and decided to sell all of his kits online.
Wow.
And look, originally I think Jimmy was sending it to me being like, hey mate, PFC might be able to capitalize on this. Go enjoy. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just have a sus. And to be honest with you, there was probably 15 or 20 shirts on there, and nothing that it was like overly PFC related. Not old enough to be perfectly honest. But it made me think like, oh, that would be absolute heartbreak for me. What would our shirt collections? Imagine if our wife sold it. Like, imagine your wife selling your Inter, the Mr. Ross shirt. Oh,
yeah. Look, I think the funny thing is though, like our partners, that they know how much we value it. So if anything did happen, they'd know they would sell it.
It'd be the first thing they would do. I think
at a good price though, because they know it's worth
this value.
Because they know how much we talk shit about it.
Yeah,
they'll be like, yeah, it's worth a lot. But this girl literally robbed his partner
$50 for some of these things.
$50 for something could have easily sold for 100. Like either way, but I think look, it's a good. If he was an up shit sort of guy, then he deserved it. But good work on her for doing that. That's a great way of payback. Why burn? Why throw stuff out when you can make some profit off your?
Could you imagine if my wife did it? I've got over I think I've got close to 1,000 shirts in stock at the moment.
Yeah, some of my ones are like the United, the 91, the trefoil one, the 92. Yeah. Like Chantel could easily make herself 650 Australian dollars off that.
Well, that's decent. I'm just thinking if my wife sold 1,000 shirts for $50, that's lowballing $50.
Jeez, I don't think about it. I've got 400 kits in my collection, my own collection. It's
impressive.
Plus the ones I've encountered. So 400.
I don't store them. I'm struggling to store them.
Yeah, they're boxes and stuff. But 400 at just like $50. What is that? Hey Siri. What is 400 times 50?
Isn't it? There you go.
20,000. I hope you guys heard that.
There you go. So and then all right. So I guess.
How cool is that though?
That is very impressive.
$20,000 my wife could make.
So our wives between us could clean out $70,000 and leave us for dead.
Wow, that should just shout out to sorry, not shout out, but Netflix. If you're listening to this, there's an episode or a show for you. It's not called Breaking Bad. It's called Breaking Shirt, and it's basically our wives stealing our shirts and selling and making profit. They're laundering money.
Oh man, this is getting out of control. Oh. I feel a bit nauseous just thinking about my wife selling all my shirts now.
The wife actually, like, of course, if anyone's listening, of course, their partners definitely have something they collect. My wife loved her Fun Pops that she's got, the Friends. I bought her for her birthday. Yeah. She opened them out of the packages. Now, she lost a lot of value once you open it, but one pop was $25, $20, the Friends. Yeah. Limited edition. They now resell at $350 per pop. She took them out of the packaging. The ones out of the packaging only sell for $100.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. That is absolutely heartbreaking. I guess we all go through that though. Like even from when we were kids, you have Pokemon cards and stuff like that.
We haven't put a timer. We don't know how long we've gone.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we don't lose half the episode because 30 minutes is the max timing. No break today. We're going to go straight into it. Of course, make the sholo. Oh my God, I can't speak.
Make the sholo.
This is why I like recording at 9 a.m.
We should do a promo in like Pig Latin.
Chalamet, Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet.
Basically, that just loosely. We should have subtitles and be like, just follow PFC and talking shit on thing. Make sure you come into Ultra Football, check out the store, go to Panenka, have a coffee, and that's
about it. Speaking masa, dobro den, dobro što dojdete. Ja sam Alexander ove Paul. If sakate, I'm speaking half English, half Maso. 3 p.m. I need to go home and see my daughter.
I think we're both past. I'm actually crying. This is a joke.
Make sure to follow us on our socials, PFC Vintage and Alexander Jason on Talking Shirt. Oh my God, I just fucked that up as well.
Oh yeah, just follow Alexander Jason on Talking Shirt. That's great.
All right.
Anyway,
the next and last subject.
Let's bring it home. We'll bring it home by bringing it home. So we went to Instagram and Twitter and socials and everything else under the sun to see what the people wanted to talk about again this week. And one of the cooler questions, which we kind of tapped on previously in like an episode, about away days.
Yeah.
And what our dream away day would be. I guess two perspectives on this one.
Yeah.
What would be your dream away day in Australia? And second part to the question is globally, if you could go to any game, you know, whether you're, like, obviously you're an Inter United supporter, an away day for either of those clubs as well. So from Australia, best away day for a city.
I would love to go to the Central Coast versus Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Not the fan base, like there's not, that's sort of not there, but I love that stadium, the Central Coast Stadium.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'd love to go there. I think that's probably the best away days for me. I've done Adelaide, that's probably one of my favourite ones.
Yeah.
But an away day experience, I reckon the Coast versus Jets would be something I would enjoy.
Yeah,
Just
nice.
because purely the stadium, the aesthetic, Gosford, the palm trees, the sauce bottles.
The sauce bottle thing still cracks
Yeah.
me up. I'd love to see someone make like a giant pie and just kind of
Oh my
like
God.
try and squeeze. Anyway, yeah, I think I have to kind of almost agree with you, but I haven't been to Cooper's yet. I'm keen to go to Cooper's. I think that's going to be my sort of bucket list away day. But Australia Cup is really, really good.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
There's a lot of NPL clubs interstate that I would love
If
to
you
go
had
to.
said that, including
That came to my head now.
yeah, look, I would love to see like Preston Lions versus, Sydney Olympic.
Yeah, like an old NSL derby.
like Melbourne Knights versus,
Marconi or someone.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to think of rivalry. What's a massive team?
Is Marconi the one with the big barrel
Yeah,
thing
big
out the front?
ball.
I'd love to see that, yeah.
Yeah, I've been at the stadium because of the FA Cup with City. I'm trying to think what's a good rivalry. Like, what's a good... Like, we saw Adelaide City versus Adelaide United. That was good.
Yeah.
But what's a good ethnic rivalry in Australia? Like, Olympic is the Greeks, is it?
Sydney Olympic, yeah.
Olympic versus Preston would be good. Hellas versus Rockdale City Suns. Oh, Wollongong. There's all those.
There's heaps. There's so
Yeah.
many, honestly. Like there's so many we could name. But
Anything you would name?
I think Marconi's one stadium I really
Yeah,
want to go to.
Marconi and Hellas will be good. Like, that would be good.
Yeah, I think even what was the old Juventus that was in?
Brunswick Zebras.
Yeah, it was Brunswick Zebras, but I think just seeing
Carlton
them.
Just was a good one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There was a couple that I think would be like good. What was Just? Just was what
I
nationality?
don't understand that. Why would you call a team Just?
Is it abbreviated? Is it like
I don't
spell?
know. Was it meant to be like something?
I think it was. I'm pretty
No,
sure it's
black and
abbreviated
white.
for something.
I don't know.
I can't remember. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to something we actually know content about. The away day overseas. What was
Yeah,
it?
you had the one I wanted. I'll let you speak about that. One away day I really want to experience in my life. It doesn't have to be at either Ibrox or what's Celtics Stadium? I'm having a blank.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What's Celtic Stadium? I'm having a blank. Anyways, while you search that, I would love to see Celtic versus Rangers. I would love to see the green versus the blue. Doesn't matter what stadium. That's the stadium. That's the game I want to see.
Yeah.
Stadium name is.
Stadium name.
Sorry,
Oh my
guys. Bit of behind the
It's Celtic
scenes.
Park. That's probably why we
I
just.
thought it was Celtic Park. I thought it was having a name. Like everyone sells their souls these days. They have a name
Yeah, it's
change.
Parkhead, Paradise. There's
Like
two names, yeah, whatever.
Drake, 50 million stadiums, tours, Spotify on the shirt, whatever Barcelona's doing these days.
Yeah, done.
Camp Nou.
Um,
That's
yeah,
the game I would love
that
to
would
see.
be honestly, and that's one game I think we've said it before in a couple of episodes where it never fails to deliver. Like
Yeah.
atmosphere is always cranking. Home away.
The recent one that they played was amazing.
So good, honestly. And it's one thing I always dedicate time to. And for some reason, we're lucky enough to always get it at a reasonable time here.
Yeah, it's always-
it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
which is, man, amazing. And I guess, for most Australians, maybe it is these big derbies where we'd love to be, travelling to. And obviously, that's where mine comes in as Boca and River.
Oof, that's the one I wanted. But I saw you
Yeah.
write it down. I was like, I can't write the same one.
I think technically, it's like I do support Boca, but I probably would prefer to watch that game at La Bombonera.
Yeah, 100%. At the Boca celebration when they go on the fence and scream for
Yeah,
people,
just-
I
I
feel
think-
like it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess technically probably not an away day per se, but it's still away from home.
It's away for us. That's away day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely, and I think one now on top of our head that this guy next door is making a lot of rattling. I would love to see the Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I think at BVB, like at that stadium, I
Yeah.
think that'll be beautiful.
And there's Wydad Casablanca and there's a derby. I watched it on YouTube. absolutely insane.
There's a lot, like Hamburg versus St. Pauli, the Hamburg derby. That'll be amazing. United versus City. It's not a spectacle, but it's a derby.
Yeah. But I think the ones that give atmosphere, that there's more than
Boca River, atmosphere to the top. I reckon that's the best derby in the world.
Premium.
I reckon
maybe
second
the Classico would probably be good, like a Dortmund Bayern.
At Dortmund's ground.
Yeah, correct.
That would be the best one because the way tifos and stuff.
Yeah.
Inter versus AC would be epic
At
the San Siro before they knock it down.
That would be good. Actually, I think I mentioned before the Sampdoria Genoa derby. That's they call it a friendly derby or something. Because there was like a situation where there's a heap of people died and they transitioned their rivalries into more tifo based. Mm-hmm. So they pride themselves on whoever can make the better tifo for the event, which is crazy. And that's why you'll see once a year there's always this blow up of like Sampdoria tifo on socials.
Another one would be like Split versus Dinamo.
Yep.
Oof.
Red Star, Partizan.
Red Star versus Partizan. Oh, that's amazing.
At Red Star would be massive. To be honest, any team at Red Star is
Fenerbahce, Galatasaray.
Yeah, there's some big games here.
Big ones.
Oh, man. We're going
to
this list.
Hours.
Oh, no.
To finish off the episode, I've got a few more things to talk about. Again, hopefully this episode's not longer than 30 minutes, which means it's dead. I don't know. Does that record longer than 30?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So the reason why we're talking about derbies, and it's pretty random, but we do have this jersey here, the victory jersey at Ultra Football. It will be available soon to all the fans listening. They did tell me it's going to be soon, so I can't give a specific date. Look, I am a City and a Heart fan. I love it. But the memories watching this shirt, like this colour and this design.
The early days, yeah. It's cool. It's very cool.
It's lethal. It's a good design. I do love the little detailing in that.
A big fan of the away over the home. I think
100%.
The away. I think the away they knocked out of the park. This is really nice. Even you probably can't see it on camera, but
the little detailing.
The little detail in the V is actually really cool.
The little Macron.
A lot of people complained about the home shirt being too subtle, and it wasn't like a traditional V. Whereas I think they nailed it with this one, where the V is obviously quite bold, but the detail is subtle within the V, which is cool.
Look, it's a massive game, whether it was Heart or City these days. I always say this, like I don't love victory.
Yeah.
I think I hate Western United more, and I don't hate victory to the thing because I think they give a lot to Australian football. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I applaud their fans because it's it gives our boys, the City Terrorists, a wealthy, good rivalry. I think it's good to have that.
100%. It's
and
so good.
If both work off it, it's perfect.
Yeah.
That's why I hate Western United because they have nothing.
You have so much hate towards Western. Look, it's coming. It's coming. I think. No. I don't know. I'm not a Western supporter either, but
no.
I think it's very healthy for a league to have a rivalry. Great from an atmospheric point of view. Great from a tifo point of view. There's so much to love about it.
Keep talking.
There's nothing wrong at all. I just wanted to, before we finish up today, there was
No, we're still talking about derby. Come on, let's not finish.
Okay, we won't finish up. We'll keep going.
No, I just need the message. Someone was waiting at the door. Well, it's a sellout.
Oh, it is too, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive sellout. It's D'Agostino versus McLaren. It's going to be massive. Brillante's played on both sides. Players like Berisha are coming to the A-League now, making a statement. Of course, namesake.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Victory fans get burnt up by that. Both sides of Melbourne have literally put their ambitions forward.
Yeah.
City's 2 games for 2. Victory's 1 and 1 loss, 1 win. What are your predictions and what are your best memories at the derby? Melbourne derby, that is.
Best memories at the derby. Jeez,
should be, yeah.
There's a couple actually. There's got to be early days. I think Archie going pretty ham was a few. There's a few good moments there.
Yeah.
Tim Cahill scoring that screamer from.
That was a memory the other day. Yeah,
that was a Christmas derby, I think, possibly.
Yeah, it was last week. So this time last.
So it was the same game.
Yeah.
There's a few massive moments in derby history. I think it is. I think this is an interesting one too because off the back of last season, Western actually taking the championship or whatever the fuck you call it. Both clubs are sort of I feel like they're obviously bigger than Western, but.
Do you reckon?
Oh, really? Sorry to the Western supporters.
31, West,
John.
32.
Yeah, 32, John. No, I think they're both sort of unfulfilled because of the way last season ended.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to pump up the weekend, which is obviously why it's sold out. There's going to be a big atmosphere there.
Yeah.
I think after, and it's kind of I feel like it's ramping up nicely too. City are coming into some good form.
Man.
Victory coming off the back of the Western United game, Western Wanderers game, where they didn't win, but there's a big crowd. So I think they'll be hungry. I think everyone's going to be keen for a result from both ends. It's going to be massive.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about the game. Like, the atmosphere, I think the Melbourne Derby is the best game in the A-League. I'm not just saying it being biased, being a Melbourne person, but also a City Heart fan and, of course, a staff member.
Yeah.
But I think it's the best game in Australian football at the moment. I know people talk about the Big Blue. I know people talk about the original derby between Victory and Thing. It's funny because Victory is a part of all these games. I know people always talk about the Jets versus Mariners game. But I think when it comes to pure entertainment, off and on the pitch, it's the Melbourne Derby for me. I know the Sydney Derby, Western Sydney versus Sydney, has had its moments in the past. But I think at the moment, in the last... let's just say it. I think this season, the Melbourne Derby is going to be the biggest game.
I think so as well. And I like the fact that it happens multiple times throughout the year.
It's funny how we have 3 games. We have 3 derbies this year in the last couple of years. And with new teams, means that only 2 games will be the locked-in thing. So imagine the Premier League having 3 derbies, the Melbourne, Manchester derbies, yeah?
Yeah,
so
but it's
strange.
different though. There's too many teams in the league to do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the A-League, once they have more teams, there'll be only 2. And I think it'll be a fixture that's sought out for. But there is 3. I think 2 are going to be Victory home games this year and 1 City home game.
And they're quite close together because normally there's like one around the 23rd of December.
There's one now. There's one in December. I don't know.
There's always a Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and there's one in January.
Yeah.
It's so strange. I don't know. But I think it's going to be the biggest game. Did you make a prediction? Who do you think? What do you think?
I'm going to go City 2-1.
Oh, that's a tough one. Like, City really wants to win this one in the sense that I think the last game we played was 3-0 to Victory.
Yeah, it was.
And, like, let's not forget the 7-0. And then the second time, the one was 6-0.
And then that time that you ran onto the fans and...
No, look, I applaud both sides, and it's an amazing game. Massive shout out to Melbourne as a football and a sports capital. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere. Amy Park's going to be full to the brim. I'm hoping it's a big game. I would love to see my boys go 1-0 at least. But for the entertainment of pure football and to the non-football fans that are coming to the game, I'm hoping it's an entertainment game. So at least if there's goals, no matter which side wins, I just hope it's a positive game and it's just a great advertisement to Australian people.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be massive. It's huge already. Like, the fact that it's pretty much sold out is...
Everyone will be tuning in. It's going to be a massive game.
It's going to be huge. I actually need to buy tickets. Let's hope there's still some.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
I might have to ask my friend at Melbourne City for tickets. Yeah.
I got to get my dad tickets. Shit. All right. What's the last thing we'll talk about and then we'll go?
So, obviously, I've reached out to... We always talk about how we reach out to people on socials and stuff. And one of the things was, who's your favourite of the X, Y, Z? And we get that question a lot. But I wanted to throw a curveball at you today because I knew you wouldn't be prepared and hit you with the wrong answers.
Yeah, go.
Well, obviously, most people played wrong answers only. Right? So I'm going to play wrong answers only with you. So wrong answer only, best striker of all time.
Wrong answers only. Emil Heskey.
Oh, yeah, it's not too bad. Who would I go? I feel like I shouldn't be thinking about it. It should be really obvious.
That's what I mean. 3, 2, 1, go.
Mitch Duke.
Don't say Mitch Duke. Why?
Because he's the greatest striker of all time.
Sorry, Mitch.
Maybe he doesn't listen. It's been good, man. It's been a crazy week for us. We've got a massive event coming.
No more?
No, that's it.
Oh, there was more.
Does it? Oh, do you want to do more wrong answers only?
Yeah. Best team in the world.
Macedonia.
Oh, come on.
Oh, whack.
Coming from an Italian.
All right.
Venezia at the moment.
Struggle town, man. Whoa, relegation zone in Serie B.
Serie C. There's American investors. The episode's going long. Anything you want to shout out?
No, there's been a lot going on. I think football world's going to be massive in the next month plus because we've got the World Cup coming. But we've got the trivia night coming up at Panenka, which we're going to release soon. 4th?
No, 5th to Saturday, 4th to Friday. 3rd of November. Keep it in your diaries. We're going to have a trivia night here at Panenka, Ultra Football Melbourne. Basically, it's going to be a single ticket. We're going to announce everything soon. Teams, so make sure you're in teams. Big prizes, big coolers, amazing events. Anything else?
You say big gullers? Like big asses?
Pizzas.
Oh, pizzas, okay. Yeah, and then obviously we'll throw out a bit of a Gattuso thing going on again as well.
It was meant to slip in there. You have to bring attention to it. Why? Why did you bring it up for? Yeah, look, there's one more. I think 2 more episodes of this podcast in together of us. So next week after.
Yep.
Then I'm off to Qatar. I'll try and do episodes with you via Zoom.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll have still some episodes for you. Then we come back. There's a pop up while I'm away. So Paul will do that. Do you have any guests for that one?
Hopefully, yeah. We've got some ideas lined up for that.
Yeah.
I think
Give us a shout out if
there's
you
going to be
think
some
of
cool
anyone.
ones happening. But
And
we'll
then
announce that a bit closer.
Big
to
one
the
in
date.
December. Finish it off with the finals of the World Cup.
It's going to be
Amazing.
massive.
Anything about your cards?
Yeah, Sanger cards. We dropped them during the
Yeah.
week. Actually, that was a bit of fun. So we mentioned John earlier in the in the episode, the only Western United supporter that we know. So 3032 and I have teamed up for basically an Australian spin-off of what Panini, I guess, was to a degree. So we made some playing cards, collectible cards. They're free with every purchase on PFC as well, which is great for the people that are want to sort of try their luck and see what they get. You can also buy them online if you really want to buy them and just get them straight away. But basically, it's just like a Legends pack. We're going to release multiple packs over the next, the near future. And yeah, it's actually heaps of fun. So it's really cool to be able to play on the fact that Panini and Italian means sandwich, and Sanger is obviously an Australian sort of throwback on that.
I loved it.
So there's a little bit of fun there, and we've got some cool players out there. So we've got Maradona, Dukes. Well, Viduka, not Mitch Duke. Sorry. I keep ragging on him at the moment. This is really good. Cantona, R9, and Roberto Baggio as well at the first drop. So the second drop, if you got some ideas, guys, I'd love to know what you want.
Definitely Emil Heskey.
Ooh, Heskey.
No, that's it from us. Enjoy this episode. I know it's a bit of a last one and last minute one and of course late one. But make sure to follow us on our socials. Make sure to keep up to date with all our events, and we'll make the announcements soon for the trivia night.
Done.
My jersey's coming out soon, but I'll announce that as well. Stay safe, stay away from stupid people, and
For catch you later.
for catch you later.
You forgot about that, didn't you?